Hello and welcome to the January 12th, 2025 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick. Brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, we're putting money into this project. We're on every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nick's News Facebook page or the YouTube page. We are simulcasting between Facebook and YouTube. Yay! This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all of the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back into the world. Several of the articles that we present are pulled from sites like goodnewsnetwork.org and goodgoodgood.co. We appreciate everything sent in by you, the viewers. So, yeah, here we are, second episode of 2025. I'm a little bit raspy, so bear with me. I'm hoping the sound is better. Like, looking at my recording, my audio recording, my sound looks better than it did last time. Hello, Cassidy, in the Facebook chat. So, News Brew. We're going to go with some dessert today. So what we have is, let's see, Big Bad Baptist Cinnamon Roll by Epic Brewing Company. This is a 9.8% ABV Imperial Stout that was aged in whiskey barrels and was brewed with cocoa nibs and cinnamon bun flavor. And it's an epic, this is an epic brew that's going to change the brunch scene, so. Oh no! Okay, producer Donna says sound is good, but Cassidy says they've just about lost their voice today. Cassidy, sorry to hear that. Alright, we don't need the Balisong bottle opener because we've got a can. Blow the gain on the audio. And because it is, oh my gosh, I can smell it already. Oh my gosh, it smells like a cinnamon wonderland. Because it is a stout, we're going to go with our snifter that seems to be on every episode now. I got to diversify my beer. So, we'll get into the theatrics of a 30-second pour. I still haven't settled on the music for this. Obviously, I need something that's not DMCA'd out the wazoo, so. Oh, look at that head. I don't know if the audio is picking up the bubbling of this beer. I hope it is. One pint of cinnamon bun beer coming right up. Oh, just that little bit was amazing. Mona in the YouTube, that beer's got some big bubbles. Yes, it does, Mona. Cassidy, hope you get your voice back soon. Moving on to our shout-outs. Pirate Cat's Treasure firmly believes everyone deserves the opportunity to be beautiful, fun, funky, sparkly, geeky, strong, or whatever makes them feel awesome, within a budget that won't hurt. They love helping you express who you truly are. Check them out for handmade jewelry, dice boxes, and home decor. Shop small business this holiday season. It makes a big difference, and there are links in our description for the Etsy and Facebook for Pirate Cat's Treasure or Pirate Cat's Booty. So to producer Donna, Pirate Cat's Treasure and Pirate Cat's Booty, cheers. It's syrupy, it's cinnamony, it's sweet like icing. It is a cinnamon roll in a glass. That is a dessert beer. Oh my gosh. Next shout out, despite her losing her voice, Nick's Newsie Cassidy has gotten a new job. They've been working on that for a while, and we're so happy for her. Hoping the best for you in this new career path, Cassidy. Cheers. And this last shout out is more of an announcement, and it's a necessary one given everything going on. So Meta has made the decision to end their support of fact-checking programs across their platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Because of that, it's going to leave them and us open to a whole lot of mis and disinformation. And that is not something that we are a fan of here at Nick's News. In light of this action, we've decided that we are not going to be accepting Facebook pages and articles as submissions for Nick's News. If it's only on Facebook, we're not even going to look at it. Utilizing websites that are still doing fact-checking or still backing up their sources, goodnewsnetwork.org, good.co, pretty much every other news website that you can find good news on. We'll go with all that, but if it's just a Facebook page or a Facebook article, we're not going to look at it. We can't, because we no longer have the safety net of them doing fact-checking for us. So we strive not only bring good news every week, but also accurate news. That's the biggest thing. So we want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And we thank you all for understanding. So it sucks, but I don't feel like it limits what y'all send in. A lot of, like, everybody, for the most part, sends in great articles from checked sites. So it's just the Facebook stuff we can't take anymore. Hi, Julie, in the Facebook chat. News quote: "Words of kindness are more healing to a drooping heart than balm or honey." And that comes from Sarah Fielding. She was an English author and was the sister of the playwright, novelist, and magistrate Henry Fielding. And Sarah Fielding was known for producing The Governess, or The Little Female Academy, which was the first English novel that was expressly written for children. And I really like that quote, if just because of the power of kindness and healing. Words of kindness are more healing to a drooping heart than balm or honey. Be kind to one another. You don't know who the person next to you don't know what the person next to you is going through. But words of kindness, which is just a very simple gesture, can go a long way to healing people. So, to Sarah Fielding, cheers. Julie in the Facebook chat needs to turn in early due to training tomorrow. That's right, Julie, as we said last time in the last episode, Julie got a new job too and is starting her training tomorrow. So good luck, Julie. Bug update. Elmira's nap continues. Sue is excavating a burrow large enough to bury me in. I think he has very nefarious plans in mind. Ripley is out and about being the creepiest little alien possible. And we are down to the final 4 mantis babies, and they're going through another molt cycle, and it's amazing how big they get so quickly. One of them I am been calling the Mean Green Machine, and it molted just the other day, and it is a beast. It is an absolute monster. So we're going to see who's going to win the title of the Mantis McCloud. Check out our Instagram page where I do other uploads that don't make it to the Facebook page or the YouTube page. So check that out for our Instagram post, and we'll be showing off the mantises in some pictures this week. So, all right. So we're going to get into our Good News broadcast. And our broadcast is broken up into 4 major categories, and those categories are, as always, science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice touchy-feely articles we like to end on. So we're going to start off in category 1, science and technology, and I called this one Diggy Diggy Robots, and I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Oh, that's not what I need open. Where'd my news go? There it is. North America's first autonomous electric loaders begin operations in Canada Mine. This was posted on Interesting Engineering by Bojan Stajkovsky on Sunday, December 29th of 2024. Setting a precedent for the continent, Canada's new Afton mine has become the first in North America to integrate autonomous loaders in its operations. Sandvik's 18-ton autonomous loaders have been in operation since mid-November at the new Afton mine, working in a designated test area on the Lift 1 footwall. The mine's operators are now preparing to move the machines to the C zone and expect to have them in regular service by the beginning of the new year. These loaders showcase the growing trend of automation and electrification in the mining industry. They are equipped with several advanced features that enhance production and safety in underground mining operations. Notably, this marks the first deployment of fully automated battery electric loaders in North America. The introduction of the Toro LH518IB emphasizes the growing role of advanced technologies in improving mining operations, the company said in a post on social media. Sandvik further added that the addition of the new heavy loaders will help New Afton's operations enhance cycle times at the Block Cave mine, which is currently the only such operation in Canada. Their introduction highlights the potential of automation and electrification in mining. This will enable New Afton's operations to enhance cycle times and reduce heat, noise, and greenhouse gas emissions at Canada's only Block Cave mine, the company noted. Such developments show that electric equipment is fully capable of moving dirt and extracting materials from the ground. Meanwhile, the increasing demand for nickel, lithium, and phosphates, along with the natural advantages of electrification, is driving the adoption of electric mining machines. Additionally, a persistent shortage of operators is further fueling the demand for autonomous technology in these machines. The factors mentioned are quickly making existing machines obsolete, Electric writes. While some companies are exploring converting their current vehicles to electric or hydrogen power, the prevailing trend is towards more frequent purchases of new equipment in the coming years. Over time, a growing proportion of this new equipment will likely be autonomous. The International Energy Agency, the IEA, projects that mineral demand for electric vehicles, or EVs, will grow 30 times between 2020 and 2040. Demand for lithium and nickel is expected to increase by 40 times, while diesel demand is falling faster than anticipated, reaching a 26-year low last quarter. The remote locations of mines and the repetitive nature of the work also make automation a logical solution. Furthermore, the labor shortage, along with stricter safety regulations and the growing risk of costly lawsuits from workplace injuries, is driving the need for more automation in the mining sector. So that is really neat and a good use of automation to Canada's new Afton mine and everybody there, and the Sandvik company the Sandvik company, and to Toro, who's making these things. Big autonomous mining equipment. Cheers. Beer, the whiskey is striking in that beer, but we'll make it work. Whew. All right, I call this next one A Step in the Guided Direction. And I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Mona in the YouTube auto miners in real life. Donna, producer Donna in the Facebook chat, they are huge. Yeah, an 18-ton machine. Okay. Next gen AI glasses help blind. Oh, sorry. Gosh, I don't know where that came from. Next gen AI glasses help blind navigate freely without canes or guide dogs. Romanian startup Lumen is revolutionizing mobility for the visually impaired with... Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. This was posted to Interesting Engineering, and it was posted by Bojan Stajkovsky again. And it was posted on the 9th of January, 2025. Romanian startup Lumen is revolutionizing mobility for the visually impaired with its cutting-edge glasses that integrate self-driving technology to mimic the core functions of a guide dog. The company, founded in 2020 by Cornell Amari, aims to provide a scalable solution to a global problem. While guide dogs are effective, their $500 million training cost and annual production of just 2,000 dogs fall short of addressing the needs of over 300 million visually impaired individuals worldwide. Amari's motivation stems from his family background, where all members except himself have disabilities. This deeply personal connection inspired him to address the lack of advanced assistive technology. Bucharest-based, Lumen is now a 50-strong team of engineers, professors, disability experts, designers, and scientists dedicated to making pedestrian mobility safer and more acceptable. The Lumen glasses employ a haptic interface that guides the user's head, steering them towards safe pathways. Robert Gutt, the company's navigation lead, explains that the glasses create a virtual 3D and semantic map of the surroundings, distinguishing streets, sidewalks, and other objects. The system is designed for outdoor use, which presents a much more complex environment. It could be in a park, at a train station, or in a large square, much more dynamic than the relatively predictable paths of an autonomous car, which must stay on the road to function. For this reason, we incorporate audio feedback. In certain situations, such as approaching stairs or a crosswalk, the system provides audio notifications to guide the user, Gutt points out. Additionally, the glasses can connect to Google Maps to download routes and direct users to specific destinations or objects, like benches. The glasses have been tested by over 300 blind individuals from nearly 30 countries, with overwhelmingly positive feedback. Gutt recalls witnessing users walk independently without white canes for the first time, an experience so moving that it often brought tears of joy. Earlier today, I saw a blind person navigating this crowded area for 10 to 15 minutes, a challenging environment with so many people bumping into each other, yet they walked freely without a white cane or any assistance. Witnessing this brought tears of joy to some, as it was their first experience walking unassisted, Gutt told Interesting Engineering at CES 2025. In July of 2024, Lumen secured close to $4 million in funding from the Venture to Future Fund and the European Innovation Council. The startup plans a limited series launch in late 2024, followed by an expansion into the U.S. market in 2025. By the end of 2026, Lumen aims to sell 10,000 units, bringing this transformative technology to a broader audience. That is really awesome. To Lumen, the Romanian startup that is trying to revolutionize mobility assistance for the visually impaired. Cheers. So that's going to get us out of science and technology. We're going to move on to category 2, health and medicine. And we've got an article that's close to home for me because I live in West Michigan. Mona in the YouTube, oh my god, what an amazing product. My husband needs those glasses. Well, I mean, later this year and by 2026 should be available. And that'll be awesome. So I live in West Michigan, and I keep my finger on the pulse of West Michigan news. So when I saw this one come across the news feed, I thought this was some really good news and a very interesting health and medicine article. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat. I called it The Power of Lifestyle. And I will copy and paste this if y'all want to read along. West Michigan man drops 70 pounds and 12 medications through lifestyle medicine. And this comes from WZZM 13 News. It was posted by Alana Holland on January 7th of 2025. Many people start a new year with goals to become healthier. For Barry Hall, the lifestyle changes he wanted to make needed to be year-round. In a little more than 6 months, he lost more than 70 pounds, dropped 12 medications, had more energy, no arthritis pain, and many more benefits. He did it all through focusing on food as medicine and learning how lifestyle changes can heal medical conditions. However, the road to get there was not without its challenges. In 2021, Hall went to his doctor with COVID-19. She said, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but you are pre-diabetic and you have pre-hypertension," said Hall. And I said, "No, no one's ever told me that my entire life." He was referred to Corewell Health's Lifestyle Medicine Program. The program is designed by a team of experts to lead lifestyle changes that influence health. These changes include nutrition, physical activity, stress management, sleep, social connection, and avoiding risky substances. "I was going for about 6 months, lost a little bit of weight," said Hall, "but then life happened. I stopped going." Hall had not stopped thinking about lifestyle medicine, however, and in May of 2024, he returned with new motivation. "When I went back, I actually had diabetes. It wasn't pre anymore," said Hall. "I had hypertension. I was taking 10 plus medications. I weighed 308 pounds. I was in a 3X size." This time, he stuck with the program. He learned how changing what he eats, how he moves, and more can influence his medical journey. He also lost 70 pounds in 6 months. However, the effects were felt far beyond weight loss. "Right now, I don't take a single medication," said Hall. "I haven't had any knee pains from my arthritis. I sleep so much better. My life has completely changed just because I've been able to make those lifestyle changes." Lifestyle medicine is centered around an ideal called food is medicine. What we know about chronic disease is that poor dietary quality is the single greatest risk factor for most of our chronic diseases, said Dr. Christy Arts, medical director for the Lifestyle Medicine Program at Corewell Health. Diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, many of our common lifestyle-linked cancers like breast cancer or colorectal cancer, and then, of course, the disease of obesity. In the YouTube chat, producer Donna saying maybe they're still doing testing and looking for volunteers for the Dot Lumen glasses. And Mona saying, "I need the lifestyle changes." Mona, I think we all do. And it's a tough road, but I feel that we all have the capacity to pull this kind of stuff off. So this is really neat. Dr. Arts worked with Hall on his journey. "Barry is such a unique and inspiring person," said Arts. "He's a young guy. He's got a great career. He's got a young family. He has so many things that are really important to him, and so his health was a great concern, and something that he wanted to improve so that he could stay engaged in all of these really important aspects of his life." Lifestyle medicine is not a weight loss program. Arts said that weight loss is often a result of the changes, but it's not the goal. "It's not alternative or complementary medicine," said Arts. "It's truly evidence-based medicine that when we start to use prescriptions around nutrition and physical activity and stress management and sleep quality, that we can commonly and predictably see disease regression. As a physician like myself, I'm always thrilled and excited and awed by these changes, but they're also so predictable because the evidence is there that when we use lifestyle as medicine, that we know our patients are going to achieve health improvement." When taking part in lifestyle medicine, patients have access to health behavior assessments, personalized lifestyle plans, culinary medicine programs like cooking classes and meal planning, health and wellness coaching, substance treatment, and more. "I can breathe," said Hall. "There's a weight off my chest." Hall coaches football for his son's team, saying he has much more energy now to do what he loves than before. He meal preps and exercises daily, changes that take extra planning, but are worth it. "It's not what I'm doing, it's why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it that got me to the what I'm doing," said Hall. "If I can do it, I guarantee anybody else can do it as well." If interested in lifestyle medicine, ask your doctor. There's also a 30-day plant-based eating challenge anyone can take part in happening until February 5th. You can learn more about the plant-powered challenge at the link that's in the website, or the link that's in the article. To Barry Hall and to the lifestyle medicine program and its benefits for turning around disease in humanity, cheers. And I agree with producer Donna, which she just said in the YouTube chat. I wish they would publish the program for free instead of having to go through your doctor. I think that would have a huge benefit to everybody if that was the case, but no such luck. But hopefully down the road. All right, so that gets us out of health and medicine. We're going to move on to category 3, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. And this first article was sent in by Cassidy. Thank you very much, Cassidy. I called it Just Add Water. And I'm going to copy and paste these into the chat if y'all want to read along. Forgotten water harvesting system transforms barren wasteland into thriving farmland. And this was posted on Upworthy by Annie Renault on the 4th of January of 2025. When the Great Green Wall initiative began in 2007, it was just a vision of a big, beautiful wall of greenery spanning the width of Africa to keep the Sahara Desert from encroaching on the rest of the continent. Despite years of success and failures, celebration and criticism, we can see the progress being made as an inspiring example of how local and global collaboration can help counter the effects of climate change. Just a few years ago, the Sahel region at the northern edge of Senegal was a barren wasteland where nothing had grown for 40 years. But at the United Nations World Food Program, the WFP, and local villagers teamed up to re-green the area, bringing back agriculture, improving the economy of the people who live there, and preventing the climate migration that desertification ultimately leads to. According to Andrew Millison, a permaculture designer and instructor at Oregon State University, the Sahara Desert has expanded by about 10% in the last 100 years. The idea behind the Great Green Wall is to build a barrier of vegetation to stop that expansion, which threatens the ecosystems and economies of the Sahel, the region south of the Sahara that separates the desert from the savanna. In a video from February of 2024, Millison shared the collaborative nature and progress of one Great Green Wall project in Senegal, including the rejuvenation of 300,000 hectares, or about the equivalent of 600,000 football fields, of seemingly unusable land. The process started with the community-based participatory planning, WFP Program Policy Officer Bakalulu Diaby shares in the video. By the end of the process, it was agreed that one of the major actions is the land reclamation or land recovery project. At first, it took some time to convince the community that the re-greening of the degraded landscape was even possible. But after learning about how to improve the land, the people believed and they are convinced, and they are also committed, says Diaby. One of the keys to this particular re-greening project is using long-forgotten techniques for harvesting water. When soil is crusted and sun-baked and hard as cement, rainwater doesn't penetrate, and it's impossible for plants to take root. The solution? Half-moon-shaped ditches dug in such a way that water flows into them on the straight side with an embankment built on the rounded side to hold the water in, like a bowl. Each half-moon is 4 meters in diameter and takes about a day for one person to dig. Local vegetation domesticated on the Sahel thousands of years ago, such as sorghum and millet, are planted in these half-moons, rehabilitating the land and feeding the local community at the same time. This is nothing new. We have not invented a technology here, explains Sebastian Muller from the WFP Resilience Team. The half-moon technology is actually an endogenous technology to the Sahel and has been forgotten over time. We have rescued it from the past. Not only does capturing water in the half-moons help with the immediate need to grow food and contribute to the Great Green Wall, but 10% to 15% of the water will actually soak into the ground to replenish the water table, creating a more sustainable agricultural process. That's cool. That way, we actually achieve a balance of water, so we are not depleting the water resources, but we're making sure that we keep enough water in the ground for future generations, says Muller. Other crops, such as okra and tomatoes, are grown in horizontal horticultural beds, and between those ditches grow trenches with fruit trees in them. So just an amazing growing process. This is just a very first step in this pilot, adds Muller. We'll also be using other native species that we'll be planting in the pits that will drive the rejuvenation of the soil and the protection of the soil as the systems start growing into abundance and producing food and life for the people here. According to Muller, the syntropic farming methods being employed were developed in Brazil and are based on global indigenous practices that mimic the way natural forests grow and thrive. These natural growing dynamics make agriculture more sustainable, continually replenishing the land rather than continually depleting it. Truly a testament to global collaboration carried out at the local level with local community support. This project was really interesting because the World Food Program wanted to demonstrate how you could take the most devastated areas and turn them back into resilient food-producing locations, says Millison. And they specifically placed their project on a very degraded landscape that had been taken down to bare, compacted earth. If this desertified wasteland can be rejuvenated so successfully, it provides hope for recovering other land that many people might write off as useless or barren. As climate change continues to alter the Earth's landscape, literally, we'll need to keep working together both locally and globally to find solutions like the Great Green Wall and support their implementation. You can learn more about successful permaculture practices on Andrew Millison's YouTube channel. To everybody involved in the WFP and the Great Green Wall Initiative and Cassidy for sending in this article, cheers. This next one was also sent in by Cassidy, so Cassidy, thank you for this one too. I called it Invasive to Innovative. And I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. This alien plant is lethal for the environment. Now it's being turned into a plastic to regrow forests. This was posted to CNN by Tom Page, and it was posted on January 7th of 2025. Lake Naivasha, northwest of Nairobi, Kenya, is becoming increasingly unnavigable. Water hyacinth, the world's most widespread invasive species, is blanketing the lake, choking its fish and leaving people stranded. Sorry. Sometimes it becomes very serious, says Simon Macharia, a local fisherman, about the weed problem. There was this incident where fishermen were trapped by hyacinth inside the lake for 3 days. We had to seek help from the government, who used a helicopter to rescue them. Macharia says that some days he's simply unable to fish on the lake because of the plant. When he does, he can lose his nets underneath the floating weed, incurring costs while preventing him from earning that day. Water hyacinths also cover the surface, cutting off sunlight, outcompeting other plant species, and starving water of oxygen. That means there are fewer fish for Macharia to catch in the first place. The problem is so vast it can be seen from space. It also threatens to cut off the flower industry in the wetlands surrounding the 150 square kilometer or 58 square mile lake. What's happening in Lake Naivasha is a story repeated all over the world. Water hyacinths are native to South America, but were introduced as an exotic ornamental to many other countries. They've since taken over freshwater environments and are labeled an alien invasive species on every other continent aside from Antarctica. And if they spread there, we would definitely be in trouble. Something would be horribly wrong. As well as their impact on biodiversity and livelihoods, the floating plant can clog hydroelectric and irrigation systems, meaning that one does not need to live in their proximity to be affected. It's the highest profile example of an invasive aquatic plant crisis that has cost the global economy tens of billions of dollars historically, and now more than $700 million annually. The problem with water hyacinths is particularly acute in Africa. A 2024 report by the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, or the IPBES, a body founded by the UN Environment Program, described the plant's exponential expansion, with land use changes and climate change adding potential fuel to the green fire. Task forces from multiple organizations have attempted to find solutions. Introducing weevils that attack the plant can restrict its spread and even cause it to lose buoyancy. There are also proposals to harvest the water hyacinth and combine it with municipal waste and cow dung to produce biofuel. Now, a Kenyan company is addressing the problem as well as the country's plastic pollution issue by turning the invasive plant into a bioplastic. Hyapak Ecotech Limited, founded by Joseph Guthiru, began life as a final year project by the former Egerton University civil and environmental engineering student. Guthiru and his classmates experienced the problem of water hyacinths firsthand on a field trip to Lake Naivasha in 2021, when their boat became trapped for 5 hours. They returned determined to do something about it. Guthiru's bioplastic is made from dried water hyacinth combined with binders and additives, which is then mixed and shaped. The product, which biodegrades over a few months, was first used as an alternative for plastic packaging. In 2017, Kenya introduced a law banning single-use plastic bags, and in 2020, all single-use plastics were banned from protected areas. The results have been mixed. With homegrown manufacturing banned, there have been reports that single-use plastic bags have been smuggled into Kenya from neighboring countries. The problem behind the ban is that there were no proper alternatives that were produced, argued Guthiru. His product is killing two birds with one stone, he believes. Most single-use plastic products tend to have a lifespan of about 10 minutes after they come out of the supermarket shelves, so why not make them biodegradable? Hayapak has gained widespread attention, winning the youth category at the East Africa Climate Action Awards, a prize at UNESCO's World Engineering Day Hackathon, and a prototype for Humanity Award 2023 announced at the COP28 Climate Conference. Guthiru was also named a 2023 Obama Foundation Africa Leader. Fishermen, including Macaria, are now harvesting the invasive plant on Lake Navasha, then drying and selling it to Hayapak. It's a useful alternative income, he said, especially on days when the plant has covered his net, preventing it from catching fish. Macaria said he hopes Hayapak will soon be able to scale up its activities, allowing the lake's surrounding community to harvest greater quantities of water hyacinth. If Joseph could get funding, I think he can buy larger quantities, and at least many people will get work, he said. One project that could help Hayapak grow is its partnership with the Kenyan government to use its products as part of a flagship reforestation scheme. According to Global Forest Watch, Kenya lost 14% of its tree cover between 2001 and 2023. In late 2022, Kenya's Forestry and Land Restoration Acceleration Program committed to planting 15 billion seedlings by 2032 on degraded forest and rangeland. Doing so would bring the nation's tree coverage to over 30%, said the government. All those seedlings need bags in which to grow and be transported, and Hayapak seedling bags are part of the plan, said Guthiru. A plastic-based seedling bag has a carbon footprint of 1.6 to 1.7 kilograms, according to Guthiru, and it is disposed of when the seedling is planted. Hayapak's alternative is planted with the seedling and biodegrades, releasing nutrients including nitrogen. What's more, during the seedling's first months, the bioplastic slows water seeping into the surrounding soil, reducing the amount of watering required. You offset the carbon emissions that are going to be produced, you've used less water, you've added more nutrients, it's a win-win situation for communities, for the planet, and for yourself as a farmer, Guthiru argued. Hayapak is already exporting to the US and Germany and plans to establish franchises in India and El Salvador, two countries with fresh water blighted by water hyacinth. Guthiru wants to create the quickest route for the world to benefit from his innovation, even if that means open sourcing some of this so that the product and development and advancement of biodegradable plastic can go really fast, so be it. Beyond water hyacinth, he thinks urgent action is needed to tackle the climate crisis. Previous generations have failed us, and the ones that are coming afterwards are looking up to us. We are the ones who are going to live with a planet that's beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius global temperature rise, he said. It's up to my generation to come up with solutions for the climate crisis, because if we don't do it, we are not going to do it at all. That's really cool. To Hayapak Ecotech Limited and its founder, Joseph Guthiru, and his team, and to Cassidy for sending in that article. Cheers. All right, that gets us out of flora and fauna. We're going to move on to category 4, wholesome notes, the really nice articles we like to end on. I called this first one Small Homes, Big Help, and I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Toronto man creates tiny mobile homes to help unhoused people escape the cold. This was posted to CBC News. It was posted by CBC News. It doesn't have an author specifically listed. And it was posted on December 28th of 2024. After seeing people sleeping outside in the cold year after year, a Toronto man is building tiny homes attached to bicycles to give temporary relief to those who are unhoused. Ryan Denez, how do you pronounce that name? Producer Donna, if you could assist me with how to pronounce Ryan's last name, that would be great. So Ryan started building the small modular homes last summer, as he watched the city's housing crisis become more dire. He said he didn't want to go through another winter seeing people living on the streets, so he put his background in construction to use. I just don't see any changes. It's been many years with people outside and it's not changing. I couldn't imagine being outside for years, you know. Since then, Ryan has built 3 homes at a cost of about $10,000 each, most of which has been paid for through donations to his GoFundMe page. He took inspiration from Khalil Sivrite, a carpenter who built wooden shelters during the pandemic until the city removed them, claiming they were a fire hazard. Not wanting his tiny homes to suffer the same fate, Ryan said he designed his mobile shelters to hopefully avoid backlash from the city. Each of the small units has electricity and heat, running water, and a bed, as well as safety features like smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and a fire extinguisher. Ryan said that the units are also designed with Ontario's e-bike regulations in mind so that they can legally travel on the city's bike lanes if they have to be moved. That's really cool. No response yet from producer Donna on how to... Oh, dough as in... Dough as in deer, nays like mayonnaise. So Donays. Okay, so it's Ryan Donays. All right. So far, Donays has said he hasn't encountered any issues. Tara Sawyer moved into one of Donays' mobile homes about a month and a half ago after spending close to 3 years living on the street. This is definitely the safest and warmest I've been since I've been out here. After burning down 2 tents just trying to stay warm, Sawyer said this is definitely a safer option. In addition to keeping her warm, Sawyer says the tiny home has also allowed her to have something she hadn't had in years, a good night's sleep. When you're out on the street, you don't sleep every night. You sleep every couple nights, she said, and you gotta take turns and shifts with people, right? Because I've had the shoes stolen off my feet. I've had my sleeping bag cut off. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. As part of its housing action plan released in 2020, the City of Toronto has committed to creating 1,000 new modular homes for people experiencing homelessness. So far, the city has completed 216 homes on city-owned sites, its website says. Other municipalities in Ontario have started to use modular homes to address a lack of housing. Peterborough started a modular housing community filled with cabins in the site of a former parking lot. Waterloo also has a tiny home shelter run by the region that opened last year, while Hamilton is expected to open an outdoor shelter made up of tiny modular homes next month, following some delays. Since building his first tiny home in the summer, Donays has since registered his own not-for-profit organization, Tiny Tiny Homes, to help create more. He says he's happy to be able to give people like Sawyer an escape from the cold with his mini modular homes, but his homes aren't meant to be permanent, and he wishes he didn't have to build them at all. It's terrible that we're letting people sleep outside. Housing is the answer. That is really cool. And in the description on Facebook and YouTube, we have links to Tiny Tiny Homes' GoFundMe and their website. So check those out. That is awesome. To Ryan Donays for building tiny modular homes to help the homeless. Cheers. Mona in the YouTube, those are amazing tiny homes. They really are. All right. I called our last article of the night Seconds Market First in Support. And this is going to be covering, as of the recording of this episode, some current news. And that is the fires taking place in Los Angeles, California. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in the chat if you all want to read along. Online marketplace matches 20,000 donors with LA fire victims to donate clothes and other essentials. This was posted on goodgoodgood.co by Cameron Baker on January 10th of 2025. As hundreds of thousands of Californians grieve the loss of their homes and communities in the face of record-breaking wildfires this week, countless have shown up to help. Officials report that an estimated 10,000 structures and more than 35,000 acres have been in the Palisades and Eaton fires, with over 180,000 people forced to evacuate in recent days. Aid agencies and nonprofits have stepped in to provide food, temporary shelter, and other essentials, but for many who have lost everything, the rebuilding process begins immediately. Seconds Market, a secondhand clothing organization based in Los Angeles, normally buys gently used clothes from locals and hosts pop-up sales in the LA area for secondhand shoppers. In the wake of this devastation, Seconds Market decided to use its platform to connect Californians in need with clothing donors from across the country. Have spare clothes lying around? A Poshmark or Depop pile? We'll connect you with someone who needs them, the group shared on Instagram on Wednesday of that week. Wearing secondhand is hot, but donating to your community is hotter. Their post directs followers to a sign-up link where people can request support or volunteer to donate items. Folks are then paired up based on clothing size, age, and gender to ensure that people get items that are appropriate for them. Over the course of 48 hours, 20,000 donors had signed up, according to the Seconds Market Instagram page. Iluka, the founder of Seconds Market, shared that the match program is different from a donation drop-off, helping people get their needs met by having them shipped directly to them, rather than using the labor required to sort through donated items. That said, she shared in an Instagram story that she was hoping to set up a free store so that fire victims could shop for donated items in the coming days and weeks as well. This match initiative was a way for me to connect friends who wanted to help LA victims directly. Helping one person would have been a win in my book, Iluka wrote in a statement. Since launch, we've had 20,000 and counting of you from across the U.S. sign up to donate, directly from your closets, wardrobe to wardrobe. Donors are responsible for the cost of packaging and shipping items after being connected with someone in need, and donations are not limited to clothing, but rather anything they can offer their match. Experts suggest that major influxes of donations can be overwhelming to folks immediately working to rebuild their lives, though anecdotal evidence from others who have survived house fires suggests that it helps to be given something right away instead of having to go shopping amid recovery. It's that immediate need Iluka hopes to fill with Seconds Market. She wrote on Instagram, "This is giving 20,000 people the opportunity to have one less thing to worry about when they wake up today." And that is really cool. To Seconds Market and to the over 20,000 people that have matched up with folks that have lost close to everything, possibly due to these fires, cheers. And that is about it. 7 great articles tonight. Really good news from across the world, ranging from tiny, tiny homes to diggy robots to just adding water to boost production in agriculture. Really cool. Thank you all again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Nix News Facebook page and YouTube page. We're live every Sunday, normally, and our next episode is going to be on January 19th of 2025. I really do encourage participation, so by all means, if you feel inclined, you can post suggestions for news brews, for shout-outs, for news quotes, and even good news articles that we can present on future episodes. I was thinking of what to say and getting ahead of myself. If possible, we always appreciate a variety of articles spread out across our major categories, and those again are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice articles that we like to end on. As stated in the intro, we are not accepting articles that are just straight from Facebook because they are not doing fact checking. So any other website that does its work will take articles from there, just not Facebook. Meta's dropping the ball. You can message us on Facebook or on Instagram, or email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. Those are the best ways to get a hold of us, to send in stuff. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment on our videos on Facebook and YouTube so we can get the good news and the joy out into the algorithm. I can't thank you all enough. I'm never going to tell you to do anything, but I can't thank you all enough for the support, for the YouTube page, for the Facebook page. Our numbers on both are continuing to grow, and I couldn't be happier to see that and to see that we are getting good news out there slowly but surely. It's not a race, it's a marathon, and eventually we're going to crack this and we're going to get good news spread to every corner of the world somehow. So thank you all so very much for everything. And as always, thank you again. I love you all. Have a great night, and I will play us out.